Hello YouTube. Bit of a different one today. I'm in a camper van and I don't know if I'm going to be doing a camper van camp or a hammock camp. I'm going out to do a hammock camp. I've just finished work. I'm down on the south coast, not the southwest where I live, but I've picked a spot which looks okay for a hammock camp. However, I'm a little bit concerned about leaving my camper van somewhere remote. So, hammock camp or camper van camp? The title might give it away. So I've got all my hammock gear. I've got my hammock, my one wind hammock set up, and I've got my one wind hammock chair. And if this place doesn't work out, the only other option I've got is a local campsite, which if I do go there, I can't hammock camp, so I'll have to sleep in the camper van, which I don't really want to for two reasons. One, I use it for family stuff, and two, I really want to do another hammock camp. But also, I don't have a chair, which means I can't sit outside the camper van. I have to sit inside it or on the floor outside, unless there's a couple of trees very close by that are quite close that I can attach my hammock chair to, so we'll see. Anyway, I'm about 15 minutes away from my chosen hammock spot, so I will see what it's like when we get there. Right, so I had found this little lake in the middle of nowhere with a forest woodland around it, which on Google Maps showed roads going up relatively close to it, where I could then walk up to the lake and have a camp. So realistically, I was trying to find somewhere to park the camper van. It's an incredibly posh little area. I think I've got more chance of it being towed for illegal parking than I have it being broken into or stolen. They're all like multi-million pound houses with acres of land and farms. But every time I got up to a road where it said turn left to head towards this lake, they had a barrier across it, and it was going across farmers' fields, and it was a track, yet it's on Google Maps showing me a route there. So I've spent about 20 minutes just driving around in circle trying to get to this lake in the middle, and I can't get anywhere near it. Not somewhere that I can park and walk anyway. So, plan B. I found a little wild camping campsite, so I'm going to go and give that a go. They've got a spot, but it'll have to be camper van, because they don't have anywhere to hammock camp, even though they've got a forest section. They say you can't hammock camp on it, it's not suitable. Not sure how, it's got a woodland forest, but there you go. So I'm heading that way now. I may change my mind. I've got zero signal on my phone to check on the maps, so once I get a bit of a signal I might have another look around and see if I can find somewhere else where I can actually get a hammock camp in. We shall see. Right, I think I finally found somewhere. There's been some logging going on here, so it doesn't look like somewhere where people go for dog walks, or you're going to get too much public around. It's next to a road. There's this decent sized woodland pine forest. It's beautiful. I've just done a recce through it and I found a stunning spot, which hopefully is going to make for a great camp, unless I get disturbed by some trees being felled in the morning. But hopefully I'll be up early enough, quick enough before anyone comes out here if they are working. So the camper van's parked out on the road, but it's tucked away. You can't really see it. I'm fairly confident it's okay. And I sort of sat around for about half an hour, and two cyclists came down the road. That was it. So yeah, it's a very quiet little track. So I don't think I'm going to get disturbed. But have a look at this for a hammocking area. first cart's gone past. I'm going to go deeper into the woods, but I like this spot. It's nice. I might just head out across this side. There's no real tracks or anything around here, so people obviously don't come walking, as I said. There is one vehicle track. Obviously they've laid down smaller logs to drive through. So that's the only possible issue, but I'm going to try and tuck myself away from that part. Well, there's 2 bottles of beer. So either the loggers are drinking while working, or someone else has been out in this part. Just walked through the thickest cobweb I've ever come across. It's like string. Where to go? There's almost too many trees to choose from, which makes a nice change. I don't want to be near the loggers' tracks. And there's another one down here. Looks as good a place as any, doesn't it? I can hear people now. I think there's cyclists going past on their bikes on the road. Yeah, I can see them. About a dozen of them just gone past. They won't see me though, especially when it gets darker. God, it's like a scene from Arachnophobia. Covered in cobwebs. Massive, thick. Can't get them off. More of them. Just hoping the cyclists don't go off road. Start heading down this way. And this is not as picturesque here, but it's certainly more tucked out of the way. Those 2 trees look pretty good. I think this might be home for the night. So I decided you probably wanted to see a nice time lapse of the sun and the trees rather than a time lapse of me putting the hammock up again. I've seen it enough times. I'm trying to be stealthy and quiet. There's a weird whistling in the woods. Pretty constant. It's just like someone going and then stopping. Annoyingly, there's some road noise now from right across the back. I don't know what road that is, but there's obviously a fairly main one, relatively close. I'm sweating. It is very hot. And there's a lot of flies about as well. But I brought my my midge repellent, so I'm going to give that a go. I can't remember if I brought any pads though. We shall see. But yeah, it's a lovely spot. So my usual setup. 1 wind underquilt, 1 wind gear hammock, stroke chair, stroke backpack cover, and the 1 wind tarp, 4x3. You also get with this hammock, you get a little gear storage inside here as well, which is quite handy. And that was the hooks. So it's got little prusik knots on there, so it doesn't move anywhere. So you can set it wherever you want inside the hammock. It's quite a nice little touch. Right, I'm going to finish off getting my stuff together. So I thought, as I'm out in the woods today, I'll do something a bit different. Go a bit bushcrafty with my food. So rather than my usual cider and my sukiyaki noodles in a cup, going completely different. So I've got a couple of cans of wife beater, and for food I've got a wicked sweet potato and bean chili mac. Total change, total bushcraft. I've done a little change, another mod to my hammock table. I'm still not 100% happy with it, and I don't know if I will start selling it. If I do, I might just put some on eBay first off, see how they go. But I've found a better leg, I think, because it's extendable. The other one was just fixed, 2 pieces of tube stuck together. The nice thing about it was it had a spade end. This one doesn't. but it is extendable, so you can adjust the height however you like. So if you're sitting on the floor or you're sitting on a chair, you can have it sitting next to you at a nice height, or if you're in a hammock, you can have it at the height for a hammock. I'll show you it. So basically, same tabletop, but on the leg, I've now got, I'm not going to do it with all my stuff on there. Basically, you can unclamp that and lower it down to that height, or up to this height, whatever you like. And this is just perfect height for me, sitting in the hammock. It's weird being in the middle of nowhere, in a forest, and you can just hear people laughing like mad. They seem to be getting closer as well. Bit of a worry. Anyway, I want to crack open a beer. Quietly. If that's possible. Cheers. Worst case scenario, if there's an issue, I get chucked off. I haven't got to worry about driving after a drink, because I'm just going to sleep in my camper van. This is probably the most chilled I've been on a hammock camp, even with all the cyclists that were coming around earlier on. It's a nice little spot. There is road noise coming from across that side, but yeah, it's quite idyllic. So this is the wicked, I haven't got my glasses on, sweet potato and beans chili mac, £1.20, splashing out a bit for me. Don't know what it's going to taste like. This is my first mouthful. Get a fair amount. It's tons of veg in there and sweet corn. See what she's like. It's got a bit of a kick to it. Chili is definitely a hot chili. Yeah, tastes alright actually. Not bad. Give it a go. Different from my noodles, so you know. I'm wondering if the reason why I feel quite chilled out is because one, I'm incredibly tired. I haven't slept much the last couple of nights. My son was up one night, and last night I just didn't really sleep very well. Long drive today. Add to that 2 cans of Stella. You can see why they call it wife beater now. Luckily, there's no wives around, so you're safe. Yeah, it's going down a bit too well, this. Hopefully, it'll give me a good night's sleep. Right, I'm sure you don't want to watch me eat the rest of this, so I'll switch off and finish it off. Got a packet of Jaffa Cakes for afters as well. Splashing out. Hopefully you can still see me, it's just suddenly got quite dark. Bit of feedback on the Decathlon Spork. $1.99, very, very light. Lighter than my titanium one, I think. Obviously folds nice and neatly. Fits in my 750ml titanium pot with everything in it. Gas canister stand, stove and windshield. Any downside to it is, because of the mechanism, the little sliding section, it gets congealed with food. You can't see it on here, but yeah, because you're digging in deep to the pot, it's a lot harder to clean, but other than that, it works really well. If you haven't got one, you don't mind having to clean your stuff properly afterwards, then yeah, pop down to Decathlon, $1.99. Right, it's 9 o'clock, and I'm absolutely shattered, and this is probably the earliest I've ever gone to bed since I was a kid, but yeah. It's 9 o'clock, I'm shattered. Assuming I don't get woken up by loggers in the middle of the night or first thing in the morning, cutting trees down around me. if I'm alive. I'll see you then. It's about 6:30 now. Set my alarm for 6. Bearing in mind, I thought I was going to get a good night's sleep last night. Going to sleep at 9:30, tired, after a couple of beers, so comfy in the hammock. Nope. You hear lots of noises in the woods, which is fine. I know there's nothing out there that's bigger than me, that's going to hurt me. There's no creatures or animals that are going to cause me any harm. But last night, it was weird. There was someone, sounded like a person, probably about 100 feet away. There was no cracking of branches on the floor, no movement, no nothing. But I went to bed about 9:30. I was just nodding off and I heard this loud noise, which woke me up straight away. And I listened and waited, and then I heard it again. And it was basically someone clapping. But it was one single, like a loud clap. And it wasn't like a hand slap. It was like when you cup your hands, you get that pop. So it was about 100 feet away. And I lay there listening. And about a minute later, did it again. This happened about 4 or 5 times. I turned my phone on because the camera was doing the night lapse outside, and recorded. And obviously the sound quality isn't that great on the phone, but I think it did pick 1 or 2 of them up. It was just really odd. Why would someone be in the woods, in the pitch black, clapping? Freaked me out a bit. I then had a million weird dreams. Really odd. So yeah, not a good night's sleep. But it's a lovely morning. The sun is out, breaking through the trees. I've got a coffee on, waking me up. So I'm going to get some breakfast on.
I've actually got a Quaker oats this time, apple and blueberry porridge. So I'm gonna get that going. Get some food down my neck. Little update on the stealthy Aegis Max Wind Tiny quilt. So I used it on my coastal kayak camp. It was really nice, it's really good. It wasn't cold. It wasn't cold last night either. But it's really comfortable. Kept me very warm. So it wasn't cold anyway. But yeah, I'm just loving the pack size of it. It's so small, it's tiny. It's so light and small. But I'm going to keep using this and see what sort of temperatures I can get it down to as it starts to decrease throughout the year, just to see where its sort of limit is. And I'm a bit of a cold sleeper, so it'll be interesting to see how well that works. Right, just while my breakfast is rehydrating, bit of advice from you guys. Anyone out there who's a hammock camper, help me out, because I'm struggling here. The one wind, this is the 12-foot hammock with the zippered in bug net. Now, I'm finding I am laying it a bit of a banana shape. It puts a strain on my legs when they're bent upwards. Now I know you can lay diagonally across this, but a couple of things I found last night. The last time I hammocked in this, I connected these little corner cords here to a bungee on the floor so it held it out. Last night I didn't, and the bug mesh was basically just right in my face. And the issue I've got is that if I connect these and have them on a pull out, then it doesn't bring the quilt out with it. So the quilt is sort of like goes underneath you and underneath the hammock. And if I try laying diagonally, which some people say is good for a flat lay, then my head's on a cold bit of hammock with no underquilt on it, and my feet at the other end are also on a cold bit of hammock with no underquilt on it. Now, I've also found on occasions the underquilt will just sort of pop underneath the hammock, one side or the other. So I'm finding I'll get a cold shoulder, so I'll start having to try and pull the underquilt back up. And I can't really work out how to solve it. It has these little hooks on here, and I've got some bungee cord, and my thought was I could put the bungee cord across the top of the hammock either side so that it holds, because there's a clip on this side as well, so that it holds it up. But then if I do that, I can't really pull this out to give some width inside the hammock to keep the bug mesh off my face. And I can't really fathom out a way of how to do it. So any thoughts, if you've got one of these setups or something similar, stick in the comments below, let me know, because yeah, I'm struggling. I'm sure it's me, and I'm sure it'll work because everyone else seems to manage it, but yeah, it was a bit annoying last night. I'm debating whether or not to, I saw Oscar Outdoors, he modded his quilt. I think he had the Snug Pack, which has got these snappers on it as well. So you can snapper the quilt, the underquilt together over you, but then you're obviously cocooned inside it, and you can't do that with a bug mesh on it because the bug mesh is on the inner quilt, or on the inner hammock, so you can't then attach these two together. But he did modify it, and he put some snappers on the actual hammock itself, so attached to it, so it always stayed with it. It's a possibility, but I'm not 100% sure on doing that. Making holes in my hammock and probably weakening it, and then it ripping. So yeah, I don't know. Any thoughts? Stick them in the comment section below, let me know. Help me out. Right, that's me all packed up. Leave no trace. This is where I was last night. Nothing on the ground, nothing on the trees. Hopefully only a short video. It was a good camp. A bit weird at night, but there you go. These things happen. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all on the next one.